Welcome to Rise and Shine Daily Business Tech Boost with me, Charly Leetham. If you're a small business owner looking to simplify technology and get real, actionable advice from someone with 35 years of IT experience, you're in the right place. Every episode, I'll dive into tools and systems like email, CRM, marketing and tracking, and break them down into bite-sized tips you can use right away. Your time is valuable, so let's get straight to the point. It's time to work smarter, not harder. Shine, it's your daily dose of business tech inspiration with me, Charly Leetham. Topic number 362, how to protect your business's intellectual property online. Such a large topic, and I really debated whether I wanted to go into this one because there's a lot of information. There's a lot of things that aren't really well understood, and it really depends on where you're at in your business cycle and which country you're in as to what you can and can't do with your IP to protect your IP and your copyright. So I'm going to go through it. I'm going to go through it with a specific focus on Australian businesses and how we can use legal frameworks in some cases to protect ourselves, and what the other things that we can do to protect our own IP. So what is IP? Intellectual property is basically something that we have created using our own brains, our own intellect, and I have put out there. Now, in IP means it's something that we have created. We can't claim IP on something that is already out there and we've just tweaked a little and put out there, okay? It's one of those things that's a really fine line at times. So just bear that in mind when we're going through this. But if you've created a course, if you've written a book, if you've created a song, if you've done a video like I'm doing, this is my IP. This is me sitting here sharing information using my own intellectual property. That's IP, intellectual property. Now, the danger is that people can steal it, people can copy it, people can misuse it. We have all seen cases where people have created a website and then someone's come along and just copied it, changed the name of the website and used all of your content, all of your images. Everything is the same except, it's a different domain name, different business name. In many cases, that's IP, and you will have rights to claiming that IP and asking them to take it down. Where it becomes a little sort of grey is, have they used a similar layout? Have they changed the images? Have they changed the words? Have they changed the colours? You might not have a claim there. But if they're using your words, if you've written up something and you can prove that they're your words, they're your words. That's your IP. So people can come along and steal all that. Now, it makes more sense when you're talking about me doing a video and someone taking this video, snipping it, taking bits of it and putting it into their own courses and saying, yeah, look, she did this for us. No, I didn't do it for you. That's my IP. You can't use it. If you've written a song and someone takes that song and uses it on their website without your permission and without paying you a royalty or paying you a license fee, that's IP theft. So just bear that all in mind. Sometimes you might want to just let it roll because it's so much hassle doing these things. It is and it isn't. And sometimes you do want to step in and say, no, that's my IP. Just remember that you do need to hold a line and you need to have a standard to which you will hold yourself. There are legal protections that you can use and digital tools that you can use to protect your IP. Some of the things that we're going to be talking about is you can register some of your IP. You can put marks on things. You can put text in things to say, this is my IP. So let's go through those things. First of all, let's talk about registering it. Trademarking is one of the things that you can do. If your content is unique enough, then you can register a trademark. Now, there is an absolutely formal process to go through to do that. I would recommend you go to the Patents and Trademarks Office in Australia. They do have they've got a good website here. It will go through what you need to do to register your trademark. I'm not going to say it's easy. I'm not going to say it's quick. And I don't know how expensive it is, but if it's worthwhile, if you think it's worthwhile doing, then absolutely do it. That includes trademarking any course names, any business names that you might have, logos, slogans, symbols you might create. So symbol like a logo, it's like the Adidas tick, the Nike tick. That's a trademarked item. So go to the Patents and Trademarks Office website here in Australia, go through that process, see if it's worthwhile doing. You can use various trademark watch services to ensure others aren't using your protected assets. You should do a Google on those because they do change from time to time. And whenever you are using a trademark registered or a trademarked asset, put TM on it if it is an unregistered trademark, or an R symbol on it if you have actually got it registered with the Trademarks Office. Absolutely. Look, do your homework on that one and see what can and can't be covered. It's sometimes people say, oh, but I use, for example, some of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard is I've used the word sunshine, so I'm going to register the word sunshine as a trademark. No, you can't do that. It's a commonly used word. You can't trademark sunshine. Sunshine endeavors on Mars, maybe you can trademark that, because who else would use that, really? Just an example. So make sure you are trademarking the things that you can trademark. Understand the process you need to go through to do that. In Australia, it's the Patents and Trademarks Office. Copyright. Now, copyright is a really interesting thing to me. Basically, copyright covers any original creative works like writing, images, software, music, videos, anything that you create yourself and it's an original creative work. It might use bits of other people's stuff or other things out there, but it's an original work that you've created. That is copywritten. You will hear people say, you've got to make sure you register your copyright. In Australia, I'm just checking my notes here. Sorry, I'm just checking my notes because I want to make sure I've got it right. It's here. Here it is. In Australia, I'm reading out what I've got here. Copyright protection is automatic as soon as the original work is created and recorded in a tangible format, such as being written down, drawn, or saved digitally. In Australia, we don't need to register a copyright for it to exist. It will exist the moment we create it. I know that in some countries you can actually go, there's a copyright office or something, and you can go and register that copyright. We don't need to. All we need to say on our work is that this is a copyright me. It's an original piece of work. It is automatically mine. You can't use it without my permission. Just something that I really want to get out there, because I've had people say, oh, we want to register our copyright. You don't need to in Australia. In fact, we've got no mechanism to do that in Australia. It does automatically apply to a work once it's created. You do need to be specific and have clear terms on your website or the content platforms that it is copywritten. And there are tools that you can use to address unauthorized use. Now, I spoke about the website that gets stolen and all of the content is taken up and used. They're called DCMA. I should have looked up what that meant. I'm sorry, I will put it in my notes. But DCMA notices are the way to do that, or the most effective way, easiest and most effective way to do that. A DCMA notice basically is you go to whoever is hosting it, whoever is offering this out, the content platform basically, and say, that's my work, I want it taken down. And they basically will send out the notice to the person and say, take it down, or we will take it down for you. The way to do it, if you're looking at a website and someone's got a book of yours up, or someone's got using your artwork, or someone has copied your website, you need to do a little bit of research. You need to do a bit of finding out who's hosting it, who owns the domain name, where is the domain name registered, is there a contact address on the website? Now, what I would do is I would start with the contact address on the website and say, hey, that's my content, take it down. I would also copy that to the hosting provider. Now you can find out who the hosting provider is. They will also have a contact form as well, or contact address as well. Send that to them and say, this is my content. I've asked them to take it down. If they don't take it down, you need to take it down, and they will take it down. They can argue, they will take it down, and then there's the discussion. I was going to say the argument as to whether you actually do own that copyright or not will occur. Most times that discussion never occurs. Like, yeah, okay, we got caught. Fine, we'll take it down. Now, it's not as easy as that in some cases. In some cases, it's going to end up into a bit of a legal battle. You're going to have to find out who to serve notices on. I did have a friend who had some physical items that had been copied by a Chinese company and were being offered out by a Chinese company. That's when it gets really difficult, when they take your designs and use it, and then who do you go and argue with? Who do you go and stop them doing that? I'm not trying to make this any more difficult or make it scary or catastrophize, there's the word, catastrophize it, but just understand that there is a point at which you're going to get to where sometimes you're just going to have to cut your losses and say, well, we just need to be better than the copy. Maybe. So you can actually, with copyright, just remember that it exists the moment that you create the work in a tangible format. It is yours. You can license it. You can sell access to it. You can give it away for free, but it is licensed. It's still your you giving permission for someone to use it is not giving away that copyright. It is still your copyright. So bear that in mind, and also bear in mind that you do have tools that you can use to get people to take down content of your own. What are some of the things that you can do to protect yourself in that respect? Okay, so let's talk about some digital watermarks. When you are putting up images, make sure you set the metadata of the images so that it says copyright, Ask Charly Leetham 2025. With a contact address on it. So you can, in your metadata, you can actually put that into the image. So if someone downloads it from your website, they might strip the metadata out when they're using it, but you've got it on your image. So when they come back to you and say, prove it was yours, say, well, there it is on mine, and there's the metadata on it. You can also use physical watermarks on your images. So, the little things that are on it that distort the image just a little bit. It's a mark that says this is Ask Charly Leetham. It can go across it. So if someone uses it, it's not all that usable because it's got this thing on it that they can't cut out. It also allows you to prove ownership. The important thing is being able to prove that ownership. Other things is you can use Digimark. Here's another one that provides an invisible watermark. I've spoken about the metadata. I've spoken about using watermarks. I've spoken very quickly, and I will come back to it now. Making sure that we have our copyright clearly written on our websites and wherever our content is. Make sure we have a terms of use and copyright disclaimers on your site. You'll notice that on any site I build for someone and I build for myself, I have a copyright so-and-so this year to this year. As long as it's got that copyright on it, basically anything on that site that is original content is mine. I also do have terms of use that describe how that content can and can't be used. And basically it says you can't use it unless you come and get permission from me to use it. There are anti-scraping tools that you can use as well to prevent automated systems from stealing your content. Maybe consider those. Some of them are a little more difficult. Some of them slow your site down. So you do have to really consider the cost-benefit analysis on that one. And finally, use some monitoring tools to see who may or may not be using your content. So Google Alerts can't believe Google Alerts is still out there, but Google Alerts, you can set that up to say, well, if this image appears somewhere, or if this file name appears, or if this text appears anywhere on the internet, let me know, because I've put that into my files. You've also got a place called Copyscape that can look for plagiarized text on the internet, and Pixie will also help you, Pixsy, will help you track image usage. There is a whole heap of things you can do. The biggest things that you need to consider is the cost-benefit analysis of chasing it down, whether you actually have the rights that you think you have to your content, and most times you do. Just bear in mind that you might think, well, they've taken that passage of text, they can't do that. Well, maybe they can, because that passage of text in and of itself may not constitute copyright. That passage of text in the context of the larger piece of text may constitute copyright. All those sorts of things you've got to think about. So make sure you know what you've got, what is yours. Make sure you've got it protected, either with digital watermarks, either with metadata. Certainly have copyright notices on your website and on your content platforms where you put it up. Even like when you're posting these videos, if you're doing videos like I am, I could put up, the content is copyright. It's my copyright. I've created it. Just some thoughts. And then go and register trademarks if you think it's worthwhile. The Patents and Trademarks Office in Australia is where you start. And track usage. Look at Copyscape, look at Pixie, set up Google Alerts. Make sure you've got yourself protected as you go through. It's not an easy thing to do. It can feel quite horrible when you see your content has been stolen and is used elsewhere. Just remember to breathe through it and be unemotional about how you approach it. Really important stuff, guys. Okay, that was a bit of a rabbit, that one. Sorry, there was so much there to cover. Let's, what haven't I covered? What did I cover that was a that was a thing that you went, oh, I didn't know that? What would you have liked me to cover that I didn't cover? I'd love to know. Please leave comments wherever you are watching or listening to this video. You can send me a DM on any of our social media channels. I will get to you eventually. You can join our locals community, askcharlyleetham.locals.com. In the meantime, if you could remember to like this video. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you find out when I drop more content. And tomorrow, I am going to be talking about file sharing and protecting sensitive data for your business. I'll see you all tomorrow, guys. Bye. Hey there, thanks so much for tuning in to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost. I hope today's episode gave you some actionable insights that will make your business tech work smarter for you. If you found value, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other small business owners who could use a daily boost. For more tips, tools, and resources, visit www.askcharlyleetham.com. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and let's make tech simple together.